What's up, y'all? So, Raptors lose in 6 games against Philadelphia. Today we lost 132 to 97. Um, this was a rough loss, I'll say that, but honestly, I'm just thankful that we made it to this point at all after being down 3-0. I didn't make any videos after the second game because I had finals going on and I had no time. But after the third game, I really didn't think we had any chance. Embiid's three-pointer to win the game was insane. It was heartbreaking to watch, but Toronto fought back and had two great games. And going into game six tonight, there was some real momentum that Toronto could win just because we were at home and we had, pretty good momentum. And throughout the first half, I'd say we were playing really well. It was 62-61 and a half, and it was just going everything was going really well for us. Pascal was playing amazing. He had like 16 of his 18 points in the second quarter, and Chris Boucher came off the bench and had some good cuts. One really good Thaddeus Young behind the back pass as Boucher was cutting to the basket. I think it was an and one, as well as a three or two, perhaps. I don't remember exactly, but after the second half, man, it was a horrible, horribly defensively. We just lost all our energy. We came out with no fight in the third quarter. It was like 70-67. And then Tyrese Maxey went insane and just kept hitting threes. He shot 5 of 12 today and had 25 points. And after that, Philadelphia went on a 17-0 run. And at that point, the game was basically over. Toronto didn't really stand a chance at all to come back after that. So it was a valiant effort overall, but just not our night tonight. Embiid scored 33. He was pretty good overall the whole game, 10 rebounds as well. James Harden, he started out the game really aggressively, driving a bunch, and there was questions about how James Harden would play, especially since he's not really had the first step that he used to have. But today in the first quarter, the first few minutes, he was showing that older James Harden. He was driving past. He got a nice dunk in like the first 5 minutes, and that's when I was like, I don't know, man. But Toronto also started off really hot, and then we kind of cooled down a bit. Gary Trent Jr. was really good in this game as well. Overall, basically in the first half, everyone was good, and the second half, everyone is bad. OG not very good, but he had some foul trouble getting a couple fouls really early, so that didn't he couldn't really get his rhythm. Scotty was really good for us, but you know, in the second half, everyone is bad as well. Precious Achua in this game was not good at all. 1 for 7. You know, that's how it is sometimes. You have bad games like that. Thaddeus Young 0 for 4 as well, but Chris Boucher 7 of 13, really good minutes, 25 and 10. He was our best player overall tonight. Actually, I think Pascal was our best player, but he was definitely our second best player. In the third quarter, after that run, the 17-0 run, it was kind of done after that. There was really no momentum, no energy, no defensive energy, no stops from the Raptors. Just pretty, yeah, defense defense creates the offense for this team, and the defense just dropped off in the third quarter, so our offense dropped off as well, and it didn't recover at all. But honestly, I'm not that disappointed. I mean, obviously, it sucks that we lost, but there was no real mathematical chance that we could have won the overall series being down 3-0. I think it was very likely that we could have won this game and pushed it to game 7, but we were still the 14th team ever to go from 3-0 to 3-2 and force a game 6. So, I mean, that's still pretty impressive. It shows a lot of fight from this team. Scotty is definitely a playoff performer, I can tell. Yeah, man. I think Fred not being out there tonight finally hurt us. Philadelphia put us in a zone pretty early, and with a zone, you gotta hit threes, and our team doesn't really hit threes like that, and it was exploited, especially because Fred wasn't out there with his 3 point shooting and his playmaking as well. So first half looked great. It was very entertaining. Came out guns blazing, but it didn't hold up for the rest of the game. Overall, for the Raptors to even be in this situation, I'm very thankful for that, and I'm excited for next year. I'm definitely gonna make a video next week recapping the Raptors season and what's going forward for them, but I'll save that for another day to talk about the next series for Philadelphia and Miami Heat. That's gonna be a dogfight of a series, man. But to be honest, I think I kind of like Miami a bit more in that series. I think it'll go 7 games again. I don't know. These teams are heavy hitters. I think it'll go 7, but Miami has their really good defense. I think they'll really be able to exploit James Harden, and Bam against Joel Embiid is going to be a really good assignment for Bam. I think he's going to show off his defense and show why he was definitely a defensive player of the year candidate, even though he wasn't in the top 3 for some reason. Joel is gonna have his he's gonna have a rough time with Bam, but I think he's still MVP caliber player, so he should be able to play really well. I don't know if he'll dominate it as much, and there's still the ligament tear in his thumb, so that's one big thing that I'm gonna look for. I don't know how well he'll be able to play. I mean, he's still been playing well, but that injury in your thumb, that's pretty rough. And James Harden as well, I feel like will be able to be exploited defensively. So I think for those reasons, I'm gonna give Miami the edge, but pretty entertaining series for sure. To look at the other series in the East, Celtics Bucks, I'm gonna make a longer video talking about that series next week, probably after game one, because I don't think I'll have time beforehand. But I think that'll definitely be like the best series of the playoffs, man. Celtics defense is insane. How are they gonna stop Giannis? How is the Bucks gonna play without Chris Middleton? Drew Holiday, how's he gonna defend Tatum and Brown? And likewise, how is Marcus Smart gonna be defending Drew Holiday, I guess, and Giannis in general? How are they gonna go up against him? Because he's a much more physical player than Kevin Durant is. So yeah, overall, the playoffs are shaping out great.